if I'm not changing someone's life on a daily basis, then I know I did something wrong.
You're not handling a product that people like. It's not the fun sector that people look for. So when you talk marketing about this, the strength that you guys are bringing into the market when it comes to innovation is amazing.
We're driven by innovation. And maybe part of what's in my blood is I always want to do something different. Yeah, even since I was young, with all the businesses I had, the always thing that clicks in my mind. And like people look at competition and sometimes they feel, like a bit scared when it comes to that. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something better. So innovation for Emarat, I know it is maybe a sector nowadays. It's a bit maybe focused on a lot, but we always see ourselves as part of the community. At Emarat, we've been serving the community since 1980. We are the first national oil company that was formed by late His Highness Sheikh Zayed, Allah Yarhamah, and his brothers, the rulers of the UAE. Yeah. And we have the decree signed, and we cherish it a lot.
Super excited to have this conversation. It's been going on for half an hour already, so we had to record what we had. Yeah. My name's Hanan Azzeddin. I run the Family Hub and the podcast الموضوع عالي جدا in Arabic. Ali Bin Zayed, I'm so excited to have this conversation with you and bring what we were talking about behind the scenes to the public, because you're senior vice president of marketing in Emarat, and what I'm picking up from you is not just the high rank and the position and the know-how, but the passion behind what you do. And it's so important to see people bringing that passion into what they do every day. And I'm sure that it's not just in work, but it's also with your family, with your children, with your friends, with your active life. And I'm so excited to have this conversation.
I'm even more excited, Hanan. And one of the things, and for me, and like it always goes also to our CEO, His Excellency Ali Shamsi. Yeah. He always says, like, we're sitting here, ignore the titles and ignore the ranks. We're here as one team and we work together as one team.
That's amazing.
And يمكن for me personally, one of the main things I have is the people. Without my team, without my people, we won't go anywhere. Okay, صح, we set the vision with them, we sit and strategize together, but if I'm not changing someone's life on a daily basis, then I know I did something wrong.
And you know what? This is not a cliche, because I felt it 100% in everything that you said. And when you make that investment in people, it does reflect on everything that you do. There's creativity, there's a lot of passion that comes in, ideas that are way out, which we're going to speak about today. And especially in a position in marketing, and I'm unfortunately going to say this, but you're not handling a product that people like. Like, it's not, Emarat and gas and petrol, and that sector is not the fun sector that people look for. So when you talk marketing about this, the strength that you guys are bringing into the market when it comes to innovation is amazing. And can you give us a little bit of an idea about what you guys do behind that scene?
So, for any company, you always have someone that will challenge you. Whether they challenge your idea or challenge you to push you. And it's quite important. There's a difference between both. I always say we're driven by innovation. And maybe part of what's in my blood is I always want to do something different. Even since I was young, with all the businesses I had, the always thing that clicks in my mind. And like people look at competition and sometimes they feel, like a bit scared when it comes to that. So I'm like, nope. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something better. So innovation for Emarat, I know it is maybe a sector nowadays. It's a bit maybe focused on a lot, but we always see ourselves as part of the community.
That's amazing.
At Emarat, we've been serving the community since 1980. We are the first national oil company that was formed by late His Highness Sheikh Zayed, Allah Yarhamah, and his brothers, the rulers of the UAE. Yeah. And we have the decree signed, and we cherish it a lot. Literally, we have the decree signed by each and every one of them. It means a lot to us. But even looking at innovation, we have daily examples by our leaders. مثلا looking at Sheikh Muhammad, Allah يحفظه, the way he drove Dubai to lead with innovation.
Of course.
You know, like I mentioned that there is change and there are people resisting to change. Imagine being in a desert, and I'm seeing a lot of videos and hearing a lot of stories that they challenge the ideas or the vision that the Sheikh had because some mindset can't go out there. You know, with innovation, it's quite the opposite. You know, like you can aim for the stars, but you know how to reach there. Not necessarily you know the road, but you know that you're gonna figure it out, and that's immensely. And this is one of the things I love to embed on my team and my colleagues as well. Maybe I'll give one example. I know I'm starting the question.
No. Go ahead.
We launched the first naming rights fuel stations in the world in March 2024. The idea came because I was leading the innovation part in Emarat and we were forming it. So the idea was, okay, we know that there is two oceans approach, the Red Ocean and the Blue Ocean. And you know, Red Ocean is quite immensely out there, especially with the competitions in fuel stations. We serve the same product, we have the same services. So, and most of the ideas come on the weekend, and the team knows that. They're always anticipating a message on a Saturday or a Sunday. Okay, what is Ali gonna bring to the table now? But you know, when you're out of your day-to-day business, you see things, you just get ideas. And I always get them when I'm traveling and you know, like on leave basically, and you just walk around and you get these ideas. So I send a voice note to the team. Good morning, team. I know it's a weekend and I know it's me. So
and I'm sorry.
and I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry.
Here's the idea. And of course we business case it and we see the value while we take it forward. So I'm like, why don't we? And I was looking at billboards, I was looking at the metro stations, and just sparked the idea. I sent a voice note to the group, of course apologizing and everything. Why don't we do something? We have one of the highest footfalls locations in the country. Everyone fuels. You have all type of customers, from the CEO up to the blue collar worker, but everyone owns a car, everyone sees the station whether they like it or not.
True.
And how can we transform that into a value for both the customer and the business itself? So I'm like, okay, why don't we have the first naming rights, Emarat something station, branded for them. It's even more impactful than a billboard that you pay millions throughout the year. And what you can do is you have actual guaranteed customers.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, okay, guys, Monday we start doing it. Then one of them was like, did we get the approval? I'm like, Habibi, don't worry. We're going to get the approval. Okay? It's going to go forward. I'll make sure I push it. I know the CEO is extremely supporting innovation, and we're going to make it happen. So from that day, we started working on it. We started developing it. We were challenged by almost everyone. But this is where the magic happens. The magic happens when you have people against your idea and not understanding it. This is your ability to transform it into a success story. So we put a group of people working on the project. Of course, we kept it secret because it's, please guys, everyone signs the NDA.
Of course.
We don't want it out there because we want to perfect it. So we brought the right team, and then we sat with companies. We saw their, reaction to the idea. Had some people were like, "What? Naming rights fuel station? That doesn't add up." But when they understood the business value that they got from it, they understand the positioning of the brand, they understand all these elements. We launched the project in March 24. We closed deals that are like the numbers were crazy. The impact was huge. And then within a couple of months, we transformed one station with Al Maria Bank.
Oh.
Al Maria Bank is the first digital bank in the country.
Yeah.
And they're lovely people. And Wissam and Mohammed Wasim, the CEO, and the ambition they have. If you want to talk about passion, talk about these guys.
Okay. Bring them on.
Of course.
Let me know how to bring them on.
So they're very passionate what they do. They know what the impact they want to have. So once we launched that station, the amount of people that were surprised of even the bank's presence and strong presence and the quality and the business value they bring, everyone was astonished by that. If I imagine launching the first naming rights fuel stations in the world was there, then we proved the success to whoever was against it. We're not taking anything from them, but not everyone's gonna understand your idea.
No.
So, I mean, I think this is one of the main things. And of course, we have our loyalty program that I think we'll talk about it
100%.
later on.
But, you know, I keep going back to you saying impact. So we are talking about the business model, which is amazing, but we are talking about impact. And, you know, I always tell my team the same thing. I say, people buy from people. And when people see that value added system that you're bringing in to serve the community, and you know, there was always this shame, especially when we were growing up, that had to do with money. So if you're doing something that has impact but you need to pay for it, then there's something wrong. But as we grow older and as we read and we get educated and we get into that entrepreneurship mindset, you start understanding that for anything to be sustainable and for it to grow, then it needs to be properly valued.
100%.
And what you're bringing in is amazing. And it's going to lead me into talking about the loyalty program, actually. And I think that was a brilliant idea. Like, we all have loyalty programs in our work. For me, it transformed the way things are in my business. But you're talking about a very, very different scale. And how had that impacted everything that you do?
Well, the story of our loyalty program was quite a journey. When we started, we had something called phase 0, which is, I think, one of the most important phases you'll have in any project. I'm not talking about even any startup. Take a step back. We started to, and I said it yesterday in the panel, and I think people were shocked. Like, listen with your eyes. Listen with your eyes, like, see the market and listen what the market says. We had competitors launching their loyalty programs before us. And we had so many programs that's well advanced. So when we sat with the team, we developed the business case. So we developed the journeys, we asked people questions, and you know, like we brought in customers and we actually asked them, okay, what do you want? What do you want to benefit from Emarat fuel that sells fuel? You know, that's what people saw the station, fuel and the grocery store.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's what it is, but it's much bigger than that.
It's much bigger than that. I mean, I would say fuel and expensive grocery store. This is what people anticipated. Then the question is like, how do we tell people now this is not the right thing? Of course, we are in a competitive market. I want people to churn away from my competitors and come to me.
100%.
And that was one of the main pillars of the business case. But then the question, how? I mean, like, before we ask ourselves how, let's ask ourselves why. This is very important. Okay, we always dig deep into numbers, but then why? Why would a customer want to download our loyalty program? Why would he want to focus on going to that station or starting to recognize the differences in station? Because we have people till today, they don't even know the difference between us and the competitors.
True.
Just the colors. So we said, okay, why are we doing that? Why are we having a loyalty program? Why are we spending all of these things? Why are we giving this to the customers? So when we segmented the questions, we understood more from the program. So I'm like, okay, we dissect the business case, we dissect the loyalty program, we did competitive benchmarking, look at all the industries. What is the most successful? If you can get insider information, get insider information. Of course, on a proper level, like, you know, sometimes they release reports and whatever. So it was an immense 3 weeks. Okay, I'm like, okay.
3 weeks? That's it?
That's it.
You're joking.
Every single day. That
Still.
was, and I used to do it myself.
This is what I meant about passion.
So, like, and
You're
like
bringing
people,
it in.
Some people were asking, why are you doing it? It's still like you're gonna sign the contract with someone's gonna do it. I'm like, no. For me, before I hire someone or have a team, I like to know everything about what I have, not necessarily on a very technical level, because I always want to have someone better than me leading it. So, but the idea is when I communicate with that person, we're on the same page. He doesn't have to explain for me for 10 minutes.
No.
And that's how competitive I am sometimes. So I sat with top programs, we discussed things, and we dissected the whole thing. So in phase 0, what was developed was that. So then when we kicked off the project, I promised the CEO that we will develop it. We'll have an MVP by end of 22. So we launched it in actually end of May, June to December. And I like these fancy numbers. So I'm like, Khalifa, we're going to launch it in 22/12/2022, part of the meeting. And that's the surprises the team gets, you know. They're surprised when I say something and they have to do it. So after the meeting, Ali, we cannot do it. And, you know, like, it's not possible. There is no time. Like, guys, calm down. We can do it. It's fine. We're going to just work harder, you know, because we had multiple streams.
Or smarter.
So I'm like, we cannot put meetings. I'm like, no, I'm going to be in every single meeting. So I had meetings from literally 8 a.m. because we were working with a team in France that was working with us, with our SIA partners. So the people that were in the UAE, so we started meetings from 8. We had different work streams. I went even on the user journey, the UI, UX, the development part, the tech part, how we install the CRMs, the loyalty engines, how we design the concept, every single workshop. Like, I want to be there. It's my baby, I want to be there. So we focused on it line by line. So once the French team started, we kicked off the meetings, we finished at 3. That was back-to-back meetings. I used to have lunch during meetings. I was passionate towards, and I gave a promise.
But you had lunch?
I think so.
Alhamdulillah.
Of course they have lunch. But the thing is when you're committed towards something and you're disciplined, this is where you make the change.
True.
So we developed it. The idea was, what am I going to give the customer? And I want this program to be as seamless as possible. So our unique selling proposition was, okay, I want the customer to get his points instantly. Of course, tech team was like, no. I'm like, no, it's going to happen. Period.
So the moment they're there, they click and it's done.
You scan the QR code, you get it within seconds. And I want the ownership of the earn and burn to be on the hands of the customer. I don't want any of the staff to interact. The staff is here to serve you, but you decide whatever you want to do with your points. You want to transfer, now you can transfer your points, but you can earn and burn at the same time. So you earn on fuel, and you can burn as well. And then within less than a second, you get your points, you can redeem them in the convenience store.
That's amazing.
So I'm like, let's think of the small parts, because these micro interactions create macro impact. So this is what we want to focus on. These small touch points add a lot of value to the customer. Because I put myself as a customer, and I'm fueling in less than 3 minutes. I don't want someone to come and knock on my door and like try to explain something. No. I know I'm in a hurry. So to slowly convince the customer that, okay, there is more to a station. It will take time, but let's do it step by step. Now he earns, he has a reason to burn now. So he goes to the station. These incremental changes contributed to a growth in our retail business of 20% from the loyalty program. And then we had a conversion from fuel to non-fuel, because like with the heat and whatever, we had around 15% of customers converting from there, meaning they used to previously only fuel. Now they fuel and they purchase something or they wash their car. So now we created loyalty. So from there, I'm like, okay, we passed that stage. We launched the MVP in 22/12, but we limited to our employees. Why? It's like, I want to give the customer a perfect launch, which was done in 26th of April 2023.
26. Okay.
We wanted to do it in a better date, but unfortunately, we had Ramadan was there.
Exactly.
I mean, fortunately and time was
exactly.
It was going to be 24 for
2023.
Or sorry, 23 for 2023. So this is what we like to do, like put nice numbers.
I have to comment on something, Ali. There's a reason why the ideas come to you when you're downtiming. That's how the brain works, actually. The brain is, I call it in Arabic al-mukh al-azim. It's a superpower. And the reason why is that when you're on overdrive, it's just the neurons are active. But then they're also retaining a lot of information and they're storing it. The moment that you sit down and you relax, this is when the creativity comes.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I think one of the strongest USPs you actually have is that your name is Emarat. So Emarat is like UAE based and so on. And I know that you have this passion towards the country. It's who you are. It's part of who you are. And you're bringing in a lot of that concept from that into businesses that you deal with.
Yeah.
With UAE homegrown businesses.
Like I always tell myself that, like we're lucky to have leaders that actually give us that example. Like you're saying Emarat, but when you say Emarat, I look at the leaders. I look at Sheikh Zayed, Allah yarhamah. I look at Sheikh Muhammad, Sheikh Khalifa, Sheikh Muhammad bin Rashid, all of our leaders and rulers, and like they were on top of things, every single thing, and like we're seeing it. You know, like as I was growing up, I'm seeing things that I didn't understand. But like I'm going back now, like how can someone, you know, like see the future basically? You know, like we still have like videos of Sheikh Zayed talking about things that we're seeing it now. I'm like this is how leadership is.
He saw the vision.
He saw the vision. So I'm like, if the least we can do is just follow their footsteps. Of course, we're doing it at a very small scale, but like we have daily examples.
You're very humble. This is not a small scale at all.
Something maybe I don't like about myself is I don't celebrate wins, and I always celebrate the team's wins.
That's amazing.
But for me, I'm like, no, there's always something more. I wanted to say something. We met with Dr. Hitendra Patel. He's the CEO of Global Innovation Management Institute.
Yeah.
And one of the talks we had was like, innovation, like people don't just go to the shower and like suddenly have the ideas or walk outside. It's basically a collective of ideas.
Exactly.
It's like you're matching stars. It's like something you hear from your subconscious mind from someone. It's still in your mind. You're just connecting the dots together.
Exactly.
This is where ideas come.
Exactly.
So I always say that. I'm like, okay, and it gives you kind of relaxed mentality that, okay, I need to keep pursuing things, hearing people, because I know later on I'm gonna connect a dot somehow. So, you know, like just maybe to everyone out there, guys, it's not gonna be a magic trick. No, just, you know, like direct what you wanna listen to, direct where your passion is, and you're gonna get the idea. And once you get it, pursue it, like 100%. Like fail fast, it's fine, but just pursue it. Don't have that regret.
I think it's really important to hammer on this, because a lot of people will look at somebody who's successful or whatever and look and say, oh, they were an overnight success, oh, they fell into luck, oh, these are their parents, but the reality is that it's all falling in place because of the work and the effort and Arabic sa'i that you do, and then it just comes into place. I think it's a very strong impact that you guys are having in the country when it comes to taking care of the wider community. We're not just looking at how do I sell my petrol, my gas station, so on, but I'm actually looking at how do I create an impact when I'm doing that. And, you know, with a lot of scrutiny on gas and oil right now, and, you know, the electric cars are coming in and all of that, there's a lot of competition there, and there's a lot of backlash sometimes when it comes to, should we use the electric vehicles? Should we use the petrol-driven vehicles? Where are we? How do you guys deal with that?
So, competition is good. Competition is healthy. And like it's not scary to have competition, but it's like adopting to these sort of changes. You have to be dynamic. You have to be quick. You have to be proactive. We studied the EV part. Like I've been running the file at Emarat for the past almost 2 years. I visited Germany. We went to Siemens. We went to Audi Hub. So again, this is going back to phase 0. You know, I could have easily deployed, or Emarat could have easily deployed chargers.
100%.
But understanding the market, you know, like it's quite important, because okay, competitors will jump on it 1 year, nice marketing, and then it's down. At the end of the day, we have to give back to the business as well. When EV started, the first thing I did, I leased a car, electric car. I wanted to be the customer.
You tried it out yourself.
I had it for 2 years. I still have it. I'm gonna return it soon. This is my answer.
This is your answer.
So one of the most important elements for us is customer experience. Now, when you talk about EV was still a new market. And like I was reading articles, I was looking at the US market. So looking at the US market, it's one of the largest oil and gas markets, and like with all the big companies, and the people and lifestyle is kind of similar to us, but we're more smaller scale, less long routes and whatever. We're more of a smaller country. So that's one. And then looking at Europe, they have their own mandate when it comes to these things. So now this is going back to phase 0, understanding the market, like listening with your eyes. It's quite important. Looking at Europe, we went, okay, let's pay Europe a visit. The team went to Norway before they submitted the report. And then we went and we had kind of an alignment with Siemens. We went to their factory. We understood their technology. We drove the cars, very nice cars from Audi. We drove around Germany. We went through that experience. Once I came back, I got my car, electric car. I'm like, let me experience it in the UAE. How are people adapting? The government subsidized charging for everyone to push them towards more EV and giving that market potential. The question was always there, what comes before the chicken or the egg? Why don't we have enough electric cars? Because we don't have enough chargers. Okay, so now that's one.
Okay.
Now, going to hubs and locations. For me to have EV chargers at the station, it has to be financially feasible for me to have it. There is no tariff out there yet. So of course we established a connection with the government, with the ministry, and we wanted to learn more about their strategy, their ambition. So again, what we're doing is we're asking questions. I need to know. I don't want to jump on an opportunity as big as this. So I need to know the size of the opportunity. So from there, I noticed, so I put myself as a customer now, not as a business. I love the EV technology. I love the EV cars, and they're quiet. But one thing I hated was charging my car. I had a charger at home. So basically you have something called alternating current and you have direct current. So alternating current is, I think, below 60 kilowatt, which is the slow charging. It takes hours for you to charge. Yeah. Even with technology, it takes hours to charge. And then you have the ultra fast chargers, or fast charge and ultra fast, that charge 90 kilowatt and above. That's what we like to tier them. You know, everyone has different tiering mechanism. Yeah. That charges between 20 to 40 minutes. Again, now comparing it to combustible engines, 3 minutes, very seamless. And you have hybrids coming. Yeah. And you have hydrogen coming. So
and more and more.
And more and more.
Yeah.
So the industry is going to change. So one of the first rule we put with the team, we're not going to have an alternating current at the station. Because it's a fuel station. We don't want it to be congested. We still have people that want to fuel. So what we're going to do, we're going to have ultra fast chargers only. 20 minutes, he's going to grab a cup of coffee. It's going to increase my sales there. So that's one. So we did the pilot.
He's going to use the loyalty program?
He's going to use the loyalty program. So what we did, we worked with UAEV. So UAEV is a company by basically a partnership between the ministry and Ittihad Water and Electricity, in which we signed an MOU with them on COP28. So this is putting our feet on the EV industry, because we cannot neglect where the market is handling. But then we don't jump on the opportunity of spending a lot of capital investment on a market that is ambiguous.
Yeah, 100%.
So let's work with experts. Let's work with people that know the market, that put the rules, know what's coming, they align with the strategy of the country. Let's partner, rather than jumping into an opportunity and having it risk on the organization, which is as important.
100%.
So we went in, we deployed, we have 16 ultra fast chargers around 3 to 4 locations. So now we have the behavior of the customer. The tariffs are out earlier this year. It's expensive.
Things are changing.
So now there is a business impact. Okay, now we are jumping on the train. Now we understood the market. We saw our competitors fail in some areas. Some of them already deployed AC chargers. Some of them have a bit of, let's say, in some locations, poor maintenance, or again, customer service is important. Servicing them, maintaining them, ensuring them,
100%.
All of that is important. So we understood the market. So sometimes it's good to jump on the opportunity like we did with Landmark without everyone knowing. Sometimes take a step back. Let's see how people react, how people fail, and we'll do it better. So now we have top technologies, we have the right locations. Now we know exactly what we want to do. We know who to partner with, and we know how to keep growing in that sense. So we have interesting news as well coming with UAV and the rest. So, but now we hit the gas, the actual gas, not the electric one.
And that's the one that we're looking for.
That's exactly. So for me, as a customer, of course, every customer differs. Then even going back to, let's say, a year ago, we asked a question, okay, if people have, let's say, villas, they're going to have their own chargers. They're not going to come to the station. So again, it's not feasible. So our target market is the people living in apartments and buildings, because they don't have a place to charge. They're the ones that are going to come. We know that someone's going to have a portable charging mechanism, comes with a generator to charge your car, which is again defying the whole purpose of EV.
We have that at home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the idea is the market, the emerging market also have scarcity. Europe have their own mandate.
True.
It fits them. They have renewable energy, they have windmills, they have all of these things. For us, we're completely different.
Exactly.
So again, going back to that, yes, we are deploying. We are focusing on biofuels now. We already signed an MOU with Luta Biofuels.
Amazing.
We're the first in the market because we do see potential. We've been eyeing it for a while. We're releasing part of the sustainability agenda we're releasing solar panels. So we're aligning with the government's requirements. So oil and gas is not that bad, but we have cars to fuel.
Exactly.
And there are hybrid approach. There are cars that are more environmental friendly.
I need like an hour. Come in.
Look, I don't mind.
You don't mind? I mean, I want another hour, but I want to wrap up with talking about the Sharjah Entrepreneurship Festival and your role in it, because you've been partnering up with us for years now. And how do you see the journey of SEF over the years?
So I mean,
and your role now.
It is actually like astonishing of what is going on here.
Yeah.
And I think this is their 8th edition.
Yes.
And year on year, they just keep not wowing the world, honestly. Like having all of these influential speakers, CEOs, entrepreneurs. And the main thing which I respect hugely on the festival is look around, you're gonna see all startups. And you see startups year on year growing. And this is honestly it's a huge respect to Shira team and Her Highness on driving this. And I was discussing with the team as well. I'm like, one thing I love about what even Shura did, other than the beautiful offices we're in right now, they nurture and nourish the brands.
100%.
You look at the brands and you see them growing, but they're still having, a hand to support them. In any event, you're gonna see this came from us, this grew from us, this and that. So whenever we meet someone, they're huge support. And this is what I love about it.
And this is why we keep coming.
Exactly.
All of us, we keep coming back.
And even meeting people here, everyone is humble enough to chat with you. Non-work related. And I met so many friends, I didn't see them 10 years ago. Everyone is doing something they're passionate about. Also one thing, maybe I forgot to mention, I didn't go too much details on our loyalty program.
Yeah.
So our numbers, we're very extremely happy. We're not even 2 years old. We surpassed 800,000 users.
Amazing.
We have active user base of 80% of our user base. We have ratings that are 4.3 on the stores.
Amazing.
The retention rate is extremely high. The adoption rate, our stations. I would like to thank the team honestly for doing all of these things, the partnerships we're doing. And the weekend voice notes I send, I think it's quite important.
I have a lot to say about the weekend voice notes, but I'll do it offline.
Yeah, and one of the things that supports the startup. So I recently graduated from Hamad bin Rashid the School of Leadership Development as being one of the economic leaders amongst our astonishing colleagues. So we have a vision of D33, which is doubling the GDP of Dubai by 2033. But one thing I learned from there is it is a full ecosystem. Startups, large enterprises, FDIs, social impact, and covering all of these, and talent. So, and I'm seeing that in Safa, they're 100%. Working on that. So it is inspiring, and we're proud to do that. And from there, just showcasing Emarat, we are giving a path to startups within our community and within our convenience stores and our stations. We're announcing that on how to enroll soon and how to be part of it. We already have a few that I would like to highlight. We have Frio, we have Tres Marias, and we also worked with with a couple of technology companies, like the drone shows and whatever. Like all of these people like are part of Shira community and are part of Emarat Made in the UAE startup or Made in the UAE campaign.
It's amazing.
We'll have more announcements. Our job here is to support them, and we will, inshallah, very soon.
And you are walking that talk, and you can see it very clearly when you're walking around. And honestly, I love SEF. Every year we keep on coming because it's just the energy and the vibe is just incredible. And you see the startups, they're just an idea, but then they're moving into different patterns, making an impact. It's just wonderful to see.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Ali, it was a pleasure.
Likewise.
Seriously, I want to have like another hour
Let's have another episode.
Let's have another
episode 2.
Episode 2 and 3 and 4. But
Inshallah.
it was a pleasure.
Pleasure.
We're so proud to have people like you doing all of these changes here, and I can't wait for another conversation, honestly.
Likewise.
Thank you, Ali Bin Zayed from Emarat, Senior VP of Marketing. My name is Hanan Aziddin. I run the Family Hub. It has been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.